Hi everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and we're back with another review. Continue our look at the Constructbots from the Age of Extinction line. We're taking a look at Dino Rider, Bumblebee, and Dinobot Strafe. This is actually one of the first sets put out, but it's one of the last sets I got, and I have to tell you, Strafe in particular is kind of fun. We'll see when we get more into the review, but this is the packaging. Still same standard Constructbot packaging. A little on the smaller side, but hey, once you get them together, it's actually a very sizable robot. And Bumblebee, like the rest of the Dino Riders, is small but packs a lot of fun. So to change things up, let's start with a look at Strafe. Okay, here's Strafe. And if it looks like I'm having a little difficulty fitting him into the frame, it's because I am. Strafe is real departure from the other Dinobot sets we've gotten thus far. The mouth of the dinosaur make up the feet, so he has these incredibly long feet that make it very difficult to back it up. And not to mention that, as I carefully pan the camera up, you'll see it's a very tall wingspan. Strafe, alone is one of the larger sets, even though the base robot unit is still the same size. Now, having spent some time now with a few of the Constructbot sets, I do unfortunately have a little bit of a warning. As I've noticed with some of the sets I've had for a while, the C-clips are starting to wear out. Noticeably, in the hands and joining pieces for the tails, as well as the Autobot and Decepticon logos. Those are really more noticeable on the Dino Riders, where those symbols have to be removed for transformation. Strafe, like every other Dinobot, uses its tail as a weapon. This is some sort of sword, mace, whip, fixed whip. I still think at this point Grimlock has the best weapon because the sword just looks awesome. One thing I've also noticed with Strafe is the way the hands are designed with the claws right there. It doesn't, the hand is not perfectly straight, so you will have some angling in. Other than that, it's still the ball-jointed ankles, ball-jointed hips, ball-jointed knees, ball-jointed shoulders, ball-jointed elbows, and the armored bits are all combined with the C-clip. So, as a few parents have mentioned, at least in conversations with me, this is fairly difficult for their kids to work with because while assembling the frame is easy, getting the armor bits on and then off for that cross compatibility really isn't any fun. So we'll pause here and we'll get into the transformation. To begin the transformation, I've gone ahead and returned Strafe's arms to a neutral position, as well as removing his weapon. Now, I am going to do the steps of the transformation a bit differently than what's shown in the instruction manual, as it's a little easier to record the review that way. First, what you want to do is come in here, move the arms out of the way a little, and just rotate the lower legs around at the knee joint. And there is a good chance that they will pop off because that's what they do. You just pop them back on, and then just come up top and rotate the arms around at the elbow joint, and then go ahead and rotate the hands forward just like so. And yes, things do have a tendency to pop off on the Constructbot sets, but they do go back on very easily and hold on relatively tightly. And finally, finishing our rotations, just come up and rotate the head around. Very nice head sculpt, by the way. So once you have all that done, now it comes a bit of the fiddling, where it's basically you just need to start getting things into position. So go ahead, bring the arms forward, and then you can turn Strafe sideways and lay it where the arms are now the back legs. Come in the front here and close up the feet for the head. Again, those are on the ball joints, but there is a slot for them to fold straight. And like I said, you're really just now going to start fiddling things around, getting them into position. The next step that you want to do is come up top and rotate the wings down, and they will clip into place on the side, just like so. And then finally, as you can, I have to adjust the camera slightly because the wingspan is now quite substantial. Go ahead and you're going to come in and clip the tail on to the rear, just like so. And I just wanted to double check, but basically the tail is going to go on like this, and there's like a little spot right over the head. Hopefully I got that right. Let me just double check. Nope, I screwed up. By the way, there's a whole bunch of the C-clips there, and we're going to get to that in a moment because there is something I noticed, but there it is. And if you notice, you'll notice you'll have it right because there are some little bone bits that will fold over the peak of Strafe's head. And now, all that's left to do is, well, position the legs so that they can handle the weight of the finished figure. And there you have the problem. The elbow joints are relatively loose and somewhat difficult to position, which is a shame because it's very hard to keep Strafe up, as you can see. I mean, I'm having to fiddle with it to have it hold the weight. But while we're here, allow me to show you the motion gimmick that the Dinobots come with. As you can see, there's a gear here. Just rotate it, and I do it back and forth, and it causes the wings to flutter. Now, there is a lot of posability options. Also, on the feet here, you'll notice, obviously the hands had the C-clip, but also there's some by the feet. When we get to Bumblebee, I'll point that out. But really, my one complaint about this set is the lack of tightness. Or I really can't complain about the tightness because it is tight for the other Dinobots, but I think maybe there should have been one other pass of the design to figure out how to get it to support the weight. Perhaps maybe make the arms should have clipped in somewhere or something. Just, bring them forward, but it is what it is. And so yeah, let's take a look now at Dino Rider Bumblebee. And here's Strafe's partner, Bumblebee. Like all the Dino Riders, Bumblebee has the same build, the same transformation, but the parts are very unique to the character. Although I do think he might share feet with like Drift or Lockdown, but guns original, the whole shebang. Fun build. I think these are the real standouts from this Age of Extinction Constructbot line. So yeah, there's really not much to show for the vehicle mode. So let's pause and get into robot mode. Bumblebee's design is closer to Crosshair's in so much how the roof of the car attaches to the main body. If you don't want it angling in like a cape there, you can bring it in flush, or just have it sticking out like that. It's up to you. Other than that, as I mentioned, same build, same transformation, but the parts are unique and to the robot, and I think it's fantastic that they went that effort instead of just repainting the same parts over. Bumblebee has his own unique blaster here, which is a variation of his arm cannon. So yeah, it's a very fun figure, and honestly, I think I prefer it over Strafe. So let's pause, and I'll give you my final thoughts. As you can see, I was able to get Strafe to stand on its own, as well as have Bumblebee fit on it. Unfortunately, Bumblebee doesn't fit that well and the positioning of the saddle for the Dino riding mode pretty much blocks the gear to activate Strafe's wing. This was not a problem on the other sets I've had thus far. With the weak joints, that by the way can only be shown and seen in a video review, it makes it very hard to recommend Strafe, which is a shame because many collectors point to Strafe as one of the better Constructbot sets due to the fact that it's a very unique build and transformation. If you're going to leave it in robot mode, that's fine because the legs can support the torso. But as you can see, beast mode here is very weak, and this is pretty much one of the few, if only, poses you'll be able to get him in. I can highly recommend picking up Bumblebee, but Strafe doesn't necessarily need to be a first-time purchase. In fact, I'm sure you can wait down the line for a sale or something like along those lines. This is your old pal Chuck for Strafe and Bumblebee. We'll see you next time.